Hey Marathoners, it's Coach Wes, and I want to talk to you guys about what we have coming up tomorrow. We're going to take on another big challenge as we move through this spring season, our new longest distance of the program, and we're going to be doing 16 miles tomorrow. And it's going to go in the same format that we've been doing a lot of our other long distance runs so far, in that we're going to break it up in pieces. For the 16 miles, it's going to be in 3 different sections. Now I sent you the route map earlier, so please be sure to check it out. Once you look at it, you'll notice that we start and end at the intersection of PCH and Bayside Drive. We're going to start and park our cars across the street from Restaurant 333, and again, the route will be broken up into 3 parts. The first part is going to take us out toward Balboa Island, and when you guys will run around the perimeter of Big Balboa Island and Little Balboa Island, and then come back to where you started. At that point, that's a great time to refuel, either with some fluids or with some fuel in the form of calorie replacement. Then you're going to head north on PCH, staying on PCH the entire time, running towards Huntington Beach. Once you hit the Santa Ana River jetties, which is the mark for Newport Beach turning into Huntington, you're going to turn around and run back. So it'll look kind of like an overpass, and again, you'll be running over top of the water. That's your cue, turn around, bring it back. Your third location that you're going to run from PCH and Bayside Drive is on the flat section of the Back Bay. And it's going to take you back towards East Bluff Avenue. There's 2 markers to make note of. The first one is San Joaquin Hills Drive. You're going to run past that street on the Back Bay, and then continue until you hit the parking lot that will be on your left-hand side. It's only maybe another 1/4 to 1/3 of a mile past San Joaquin Hills Drive. That should put you overall at 15.7 miles as far as my calculations online seem. So it should set us up for just a perfect 16-mile run. Now tomorrow morning should hopefully be the same conditions as last week. From a temperature standpoint, it should be almost identical with 50-degree temps. Really ideal running weather. But doesn't mean that we don't want to still take in fluids and fuel. I was talking to Mary Beth about this last week, and she had a great strategy. She said that she was going to fuel as if she was running 26, knowing she was only running 14. And I really recommend that you guys take that same approach tomorrow as we handle 16 miles. So what that means is I want you to think that about 45 minutes into your workout, so probably somewhere in the 5, 6, 7 mile range, that's when you're going to take in your first bit of fuel. Now let's talk a little bit about how much to take in. From that point out, you want to be taking in fuel about every 30 minutes, meaning that every 3 miles or so, 3-4 miles, and you want to be taking in a good bit. If every mile you burn 100 calories, and you're taking it in every 3 to 4 miles, you probably want to take in 200 to 300 calories. Now for some of you guys, I know that you think that taking in fuel means having a shot block or having half a goo. The reality is that's probably only giving you 25 to 30 calories. So what I want you to use tomorrow's workout for is really figure out how much fuel you really need to be taking in. The reality of our program is that our longest run will be 20 miles, and that remaining 10K or 6.2 miles is a big difference from a fuel standpoint. And you'll want to stay ahead of the curve from a fuel burning standpoint. So really, let's get into the pattern tomorrow of taking in fuel at the 45-minute mark and subsequently every 30 minutes, and maybe even trying to take in a little bit more than you normally would, keeping in mind that we want to take in about 150 to 200 calories. So some of the things that work for me: Cliff Bars. They're nutrient and calorie dense. Each Cliff Bar itself is about 250 calories. I would usually do at least half of a Cliff Bar each time I fueled, meaning that you might bring along 2 Cliff Bars if you're to use those as your fuel. Bananas, that's worked for me really well in the past, and it's about 60 to 80 calories per. So I would find for myself that I do about 1 to 2 every time that I refuel. Now obviously these numbers sound pretty steep compared to what you're doing, but we at least want to get in the pattern of taking in some fuel so we feel we have sufficient energy the entire way through. Everybody's going to have their own area and their own specific needs. I'd be happy to talk to you guys individually offline, either via email, you can text me, you can give me a call, but I definitely want to try and get this locked in by tomorrow's run so that our subsequent long distance runs of 18 and 20 miles can really look at more performance from a running standpoint and speed. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow morning. I think you guys are in store for another great run. I know that you're going to do well, just as well as you've done the entire program so far. And let's just take it one more run and keep kicking butt. Talk to you guys soon. See you in the morning.